Hello everyone, welcome to Blade Show 2019, Blade Show West. This is Tops Knives, as you can see. You're going to get a good look at some of the stuff that we've released already this year, and I guess we'll jump right into it. First up, I think one of the ones I'm most excited about this year was the Naka. I've just kind of been intrigued ever since we started working on this. Basically, one of our buddies sent us a traditional Japanese Naka and said, hey, you know, it'd be really cool if you guys made something like this. And it was weird because at first Leo was like, yeah, no, I don't know if I like that. But then the longer it sat on his desk, the more he's like, okay, yeah, I like that. And then, of course, he put his own kind of spin on it. So the traditional ones, typically they have a chisel grind, so they're right-handed tools only. Ours is going to have, you know, the standard flat grind. You can kind of see that that profile there. So there's a bit of a kind of a false edge on the point here. It's 1095. It's got our acid rain finish. The handles are burlap with a black micarta underneath of them. Gives it kind of this just really nice dark look overall. Basically, Naka is Japanese for hatchet. That's kind of a loose translation because I think it means some other things too. But it's you know, it's a great little pruning tool, clearing brush around the house, around the campsite. Chops very well. You know, it's got that forward weight, kind of like a kukri, but rather than that really curved blade, it's got that flat profile. So really interesting looking design, and you know, it's been selling really well for us. It's been a really cool thing. New ones this year that I'm really excited about is the Devil's Claw Karambit. So the Devil's Claw, the original one, we've been selling for years and years. It's not a new design by any means, but the handle on the other one was cut off about here. So you had something that was really short that you could conceal very easily, and it was just this kind of hideaway blade that you know, kind of last resort type thing. This one, it just was kind of a no-brainer to add extend the handle out and add the finger ring and make it an actual karambit. It's already got that kind of that claw on the blade. We kept the same finishes: black powder coat, blue-black G10 with some red liners on that. Really nice knife. What's cool about this is it's got the beta loops strap on the sheath. So a lot of people are noticing these and they don't realize quite how versatile they are. The way this thing is set up right now, it's kind of an appendix carry, right? But if you pop this snap open, that's just a Phillips head screw. So you can unscrew that, you can reposition this so it will go horizontal, it'll go inside the waistband, outside the waistband, it'll attach to molly, it'll attach to a pack, it'll, you know, you can carry this a lot of different ways. So you're not locked down to just one carry option like you are with a lot of clips out there. So that's why we really like these loops. They're strong, they last a really long time, but they're soft, they kind of have that leather feel to them almost. But they're much stronger than leather when it comes down to it. So that's the Devil's Claw Karambit. The A Club. This is actually the first female designed knife that Tops has released, which is pretty cool. You know, I think a lot of people when they hear me say the first female designed knife, they're going to think of something a little bit smaller and not so wild. But we kind of like that. That's kind of our style. Is overbuilt and large, crazy designs. So it was designed by AK, or Amanda K. She was on Naked and Afraid a couple of times. She's part Native American and has always kind of been interested in Native American primitive skills and things like that. So this design was actually based off of a Native American war club. And they used to use these they were basically blunt objects, you know, they were bludgeoning type tools. And what she said was, well, that would make a really cool knife. And so, you know, she sent us a design. We went back and forth on it for a while, decided we would do it, and it got a really good reception at SHOT Show. And since we released it about 2 weeks ago, it's actually done very well also. Same kind of thing. It's got that forward sweep on the blade, so you're going to get a lot of the same uses you would out of a kukri, just with a little bit of a flare that's distinct. And it's got a sheath very similar to the El Shetty sheath, so the knife will come out the back, a little strap to hold it in place, and a nice dangler so that it doesn't catch when you're walking around or trying to sit down while you're out in the woods. So Viking Tactics. If you don't know who Viking Tactics is, the guy that runs that, his name is Kyle Lamb. He's a retired sergeant major, command sergeant major, I think, with the Army. He served a lot of years, did a lot of crazy stuff. He was there in Somalia during the Battle of Mogadishu. And these knives, we've been collaborating with him on. So he came to us a couple years ago at SHOT Show and said, hey, I'm looking to have somebody make some knives for me. We started with the mid-sized knife, which he's calling the Crusader. It's based on a knife that he had in production in years past, and wanted to kind of bring it back and update it a little. So we started there. We moved on to the Norseman, which is the largest of the three, and then ended up with the Patriot. But what he wanted on all three of these knives was this similar kind of feel. So they all have that same kind of blood groove on them, and they all have the two-tone handles. So there's green canvas micarta with a little piece of tan that's kind of inset. And then the coolest thing, the thing that I like the most on these is the jimping, if you will. He's calling it vining. Basically, you see this a lot on custom knives where they'll do some file work on the spine and add a little bit of aesthetics to the end product of their knife. We figured out a way to do it in a production setting. So this is done by our CNC machines, but the end result is just this really, really good looking finish on top of the knives that does actually add a bit of grip when you need your thumb to stay put. So in the handle, you don't really feel it. It's not digging into your hand at all because it's not raised. But yeah, I mean, just everything about these knives came out so nice. The two-tone handles, the vining on the spine, everything came out really nice. And so you can buy these actually straight through Viking Tactics, or you can buy them through Tops Knives dealers as well. Next up is the Tops Poker. This is basically, it's a mix between a Kiradashi and a Karambit. We thought about calling it the Karambit, but that sounds dumb, so we didn't. But anyway, this is actually my design. What happened is I decided that I wanted to make an actual Kiradashi so that I could cut leather at home, and I'm left-handed, so I can't really go buy one because they're all right-handed. They're all chisel ground, and I needed something with the grind on the other side. So I decided to try to hand make it, and I hand filed it and everything. It was quite a project, but once I was done, I was like, this actually feels kind of good in as a self-defense type knife. I had recently gone through the Marshall Blades concepts trainings and stuff like that. So what we did is we added that finger ring to it, changed the handle a little bit, and then there you have it, kind of a cross between a Kiradashi and a Karambit. What I like about it is that it's got the kind of that full-on ice pick. Once you're holding it, it's not forward, it's not back, it's kind of that straight ice pick shape. The flat blade is perfect for your EDC tasks too. If you're opening packages, cutting boxes, doing anything like that, your straight blades are really good because a lot of those cuts are pull cuts, and so the straight blade just excels for that kind of thing. Tan canvas handles, black canvas on the bottom. That two-layer of micarta is just really good looking. It's just really good looking finish. So we're starting to do that on a lot of knives. Same kind of thing as that Devil's Claw Karambit. It's Kydex sheath with one of the beta loops. You got this the beta loop, same kind of thing. You can rearrange that. And the other thing I didn't mention is this is actually a directional snap. So once it's on your belt, if you're trying to, when you're pulling the knife out, this snap doesn't open this way. So as you're putting pressure against it, it's not going to accidentally pop off. It'll only open up. So the directional snaps add that extra layer of security, so your sheath stays put when you need your knife. So that's what we got. I mean, obviously there's more. There's always more. We got some new stuff coming for SHOT Show 2020. A lot of models for that year too. So yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot that you'll want to see next year.